There are moments in the Bible where Jesus doesn't just heal someone. He reveals something about himself, about us, about how people see the world, and how sometimes they don't see anything at all. Today's story is one of those moments. It is the story of a man who spent his whole life in darkness, literally, until the day Jesus stepped into his path. A story that begins with blindness, but ends with clarity. Jerusalem was buzzing with life that day, crowded streets, merchants shouting prices, animals bleating, sandals shuffling on dusty stone. On the side of the road sat a man who had never seen any of it. He wasn't blind because of an accident. He wasn't blind because of sickness. He was born that way. He knew the world only through sound, smell, and touch. He had learned faces by voices, weather by wind, and compassion by the hands that placed coins beside him. Most people walked past him. Some gave, others pretended not to see him. But everyone knew who he was, the blind beggar at the gate. Then Jesus and his disciples walked by. The disciples asked a question people still ask today. Teacher, who sinned, this man or his parents, that he was born blind? In their minds, suffering had to be someone's fault. But Jesus shook that idea off immediately. He said, "This happened so the works of God might be displayed in him." In other words, this man's story wasn't a punishment. It was a setup for God's glory. Imagine the blind man sitting there, listening. For the first time, someone wasn't blaming him. They were seeing him. Then Jesus does something unusual. Something that, at first, probably sounded strange. He kneels down, spits on the ground, and mixes the dust into clay. Not to make a miracle more dramatic, but to remind us of something deeper, something ancient. Humankind was formed from dust. Jesus was, in a sense, reworking creation. He gently spreads the clay onto the man's eyes. Not harshly, not rushing, but with the tenderness of someone restoring what was broken. Then Jesus gives a simple instruction. Go, wash in the pool of Siloam. No promise, no guarantee, just a command that required trust. The man gets up guided, stumbling a little, and starts making his way through the city. People recognize him, whispering, confused. But he keeps walking, down the steps, into the water, hands trembling. He scoops the cool water onto his face, and suddenly light. Not shapes at first, not colors right away, but light. Something he had never known, but instantly understood. He blinks, opens his eyes fully, and sees the world for the very first time. He goes back home amazed, emotional, overwhelmed. But instead of celebrating, people question him. Is this really the same man? It must be someone who just looks like him. It can't be him. He's been blind since birth. Finally, he insists, I am the man. They ask, then how were your eyes opened? And he answers honestly, simply, the man called Jesus made mud, put it on my eyes, and told me to wash. So I did, and now I see. You'd think that would be enough. But instead of celebrating the miracle, the religious leaders get involved. They hear the story and immediately pick it apart. Mud? Healing? On the Sabbath? They aren't amazed by the miracle. They're offended by the method. They drag the healed man in for questioning. Then his parents. Then him again. Everyone is tense. Everyone is confused. Everyone has an opinion. The only one who doesn't complicate things is the man who received the miracle. His answers are simple. I was blind. Now I see. What else do you want from me? The leaders push harder. They try to intimidate him. They accuse Jesus of being a sinner. They tell the healed man he should deny what happened. But he refuses. He may not know Scripture like the scholars. He may not understand every detail. He may not know who Jesus truly is yet, but he knows what happened to him. He says the line that echoes through history. Whether he's a sinner or not, I don't know. One thing I do know, I was blind, and now I see. They don't like that answer, so they throw him out literally. Exiled from the synagogue, cut off from community. He received his sight, but it cost him everything else. But Jesus hears what happened. He seeks the man out, not by accident, not by coincidence. Jesus intentionally finds the one who had been pushed out. When Jesus sees him again, the man can finally look his healer in the eyes. Jesus asks, "Do you believe in the Son of Man?" The man, still learning, asks, "Who is he, sir? Tell me, so I may believe in him." Jesus replies, "You have seen him. In fact, he is the one speaking with you." This man, who had spent his whole life unable to see anything, now sees the one worth seeing most. And in one of the most beautiful moments in Scripture, he says, "Lord, I believe." And he worships him. The story began with physical blindness, but ends with spiritual sight. This isn't just a miracle story. It's a story about vision, the kind that goes deeper than eyes. Some people saw a sinner. Some saw a problem. Some saw a rule breaker. Some saw a controversy. But Jesus saw a person, a soul, a story worth stepping into. And the man who was healed, he saw something too. Not just the world for the first time, but the truth about who Jesus really was. His entire life changed with one encounter, one act of obedience, one moment of faith. It's a reminder that sometimes we're the ones who think we see clearly, but don't. And sometimes the ones who've been overlooked or written off are the ones who recognize Jesus the most. Thank you for listening to this retelling. If this story touched your heart, encouraged you, or helped you see Jesus in a new way, please consider liking, subscribing, and sharing this video with someone who needs it. And remember, where Jesus steps in, light always follows.